Hello everyone, I'm Brazen Eagle, and thank you for joining me here. So, today we have some info from this past weekend about Antifa causing problems again, because that's all they can do. This time at a straight pride parade, but first I want to go over something about Italy. Proposed leftist coalition faces widespread opposition. The proposed coalition between the Five-Star Movement and the establishment left-wing Democratic Party faces resistance from many, including potential rebels within the Five-Star Movement. The new coalition has been given the green light by Italian President Sergio Mattarella, but faces many problems, including the two parties being 3 senators short of an absolute majority in the Italian Senate and will be forced to rely on smaller groups, Il Giornale reports. To add the problems, the newspaper claims that there is also a group of 5-star senators who could block the election of the new executive under Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte, as many believe that they could lose their Senate seat in an upcoming election if they voted for the new coalition. Former Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi has also expressed his opposition to the new coalition proposal, labeling it fragile and unsuitable to solve the problems of the country. He went on to add that the first real test for the new government would be the upcoming budget and urged the two parties to implement economically liberal policies and refuse to raise taxes. The right populist league led by Matteo Salvini, who was in the prior government before it collapsed, has continued to demand new elections. The party still maintains a powerful lead in national opinion polls, and Salvini called for a mass demonstration to demand elections in October in Rome. League Senator Roberto Calderoli made it clear that the party would do everything possible in the Senate to oppose and hinder the new government, saying, "I will bury the government under millions of amendments." Analysts have also been less impressed with the new coalition, with Dutch financial services giant Rabobank saying that the coalition was not a certainty and that talks between the Democratic Party and the Five Stars could break down. Rabobank predicted that the new government would be much more favorable to the European Union, and as a result, the EU could grant more flexibility to Italy over its budget. Despite better relations with the EU, the analyst said, "In light of this current political situation, it is difficult to see a government capable of effectively addressing structural problems and stimulating an economy of a lasting market." One major proponent of the new government is German Chancellor Angela Merkel, who reportedly made a phone call to a high-ranking member of the Democratic Party saying the government should be formed at any cost to stop the sovereigntists and Salvini. Wow. Salvini has long maintained his opposition to globalist Merkel, slamming her and French President Emmanuel Macron in May, claiming the pair had ruined Europe. So, a few comments about this. So, if you follow my channel, you know I like to talk about Italy and Mr. Matteo Salvini. I myself am not Italian whatsoever, but I understand that what happens in Italy could end up happening here in the United States. The biggest takeaways from the recent events in Italy includes the fact that the Five-Star Movement is going to be ripped apart and will suffer for ousting the League Party in the Italian government. Matteo Salvini is still very popular no matter who is in control, and that German Chancellor Angela Merkel is an absolute globalist. It's very interesting to see, though, that the EU will most likely grant flexibility, or more flexibility, to Italy's budget if Italy decided to pursue closer integration with the European Union. It's even very more interesting to see that Angela Merkel called the Democratic Party, which is supposed to be like the Socialist Party in Italy. Angela Merkel is supposed to be from the party that works against the super far left socialist political party. Yet she is calling the socialists and communists to try to stop Salvini and others like him from keeping Italy Italian. That's all Salvini wants, keep Italy Italian. This is stupid. Angela Merkel is an absolute globalist and wants to see Italy bend the knee to the EU. It seems like, though, it's always about money and who controls the people. But, on to the title of this video. So, Straight Pride Parade highlights Milo Yiannopoulos, Antifa insanity. At the Straight Pride Parade in Boston, hundreds of Trump supporters showed their support while Antifa terrorists were arrested. At the Straight Pride Parade in Boston on Saturday, hundreds of marchers walked through the city streets with messages supporting straight pride, America, and President Trump. The parade's Grand Marshal Milo Yiannopoulos showed up in a bedazzled Make America Straight Again hat and led the parade. And there's some tweets here from ever on the forefront of culture and draped in tolerance, love, and acceptance for all. Milo leads the way. The straight gay icon we've all been waiting for. Funny tweets. The Straight Pride Parade and its supporters marched through Boston's streets until they reached City Hall, and this guy has straight pride, apparently. And they had their little march. Members of the left-wing domestic terrorist group Antifa also showed up at the parade, with one black-clad radical explicitly condoning violence against marchers at the Straight Pride Parade as a defense against Nazis in an interview with Barely Informed with Elad. Alright then. Antifa members were also caught handing out flyers that said straight sex is rape. Straight sex is rape. Sex with whites is white supremacy. Makes you really think about that, huh? I'm seeing rumors of people saying Proud Boys handed these flyers out, or that they were made by straight pride participants. This video debunks all of that and clears the air. Antifa member is seen clearly handing out the flyers to other people. After becoming violent, some Antifa radicals were arrested. Another picture of people. The corporate media was as triggered as Antifa, with NBC News posting Straight Pride Parade as a deranged veneration of toxic masculinity. I don't think they know what toxic masculinity means. The media outrage Antifa protests gave many the impression that the LGBTQ LMNOP movement is seeking dominance in America rather than equality. Well, who wants equality? Equality doesn't work. Finally, here are some gratuitous photos of Milo having fun at the parade. It's very interesting to see Milo back kind of more in the spotlight because he was ousted beforehand by various other people. So, these anarcho-communists, also known as Antifa, come again to an event they don't like and become violent like normal. It's really no surprise. It's just communists that don't have anything better to do except waste time or ruin other people's lives. But it's interesting to see that even NBC News called the Straight Pride Parade a deranged veneration of toxic masculinity. So, we must be careful of the words that we do actually use. According to Wikipedia, the concept of toxic masculinity is used in psychology, blah 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 blah, but traditional stereotypes of men as socially dominant, along with related traits such as misogyny and homophobia, can be considered toxic due to their promotion of violence, including sexual assault and domestic violence. Oh my gosh, everything has to be violent with men. So, you're telling me here that this is toxic masculinity. Having a peaceful, straight parade is promoting violence. Come on, man. This was just an event for people to poke fun at all the LGBTQ, Alpha, Omega parades and festivals that were held every year in most first world nations. But, toxic masculinity. Some males can be toxic. Many aren't, but a few can be. But, NBC trying to report on stuff like this, calling it toxic masculinity, don't make sense. But besides, who actually watches NBC News? But now it's quite alarming, though, to see that the Democratic Socialists in Congress have created a bail fund that surpassed its goal for the violent anarcho-communist protesters at the Straight Pride Parade. This is dangerous. We have congressional representatives who are supporting violent communists in the streets. Of course, these congressional representatives called the Straight Pride Parade a white supremacist hangout, despite having black speakers, and that this was also all funded by hate. So, for us, out in the normal world, this was just another normal day in Boston. But, I will have all these websites linked in the description below. But until we hit the breaking point in this country's downfall, thank you very much for watching. I'm Brazen Eagle, and I hope you have a great and tremendous day.